Don't miss this opportunity to impact lives. Click the link in the description now and help us spread the word of God. Be careful with The Ferment by Carlos Kleber Maya. Summary. I want listeners to be blinded by their spiritual life, not letting bad influences hinder their communion with God. 476. Purpose. I want listeners to be blinded by their spiritual life, not letting bad influences hinder their communion with God. Introduction. Jesus is with his disciples in the region of the Sea of Galilee. He multiplied loaves a second time, feeding a multitude, and crossing the sea to the other side. The disciples forgot to bring enough bread v.5, and on the ship they only had one loaf mk 8.14. Jesus warns them, avoid the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees verses 6 and of Herod, MC 8.15. They linked this recommendation to their failure to have enough bread on the ship. Jesus is upset because their thoughts are focused on material things, when they should have a perception of spiritual things. 1. We must be careful with spiritual things. 1.1. More important than material things is the influence that ideas have on us. Jesus accuses them of spiritual blindness and deafness. The disciples had dysfunctional ears and eyes and a hardened heart mk 8. 17, 18. 1.2. Yeast is a metaphor for something that, even if it is little, affects a larger mass and makes it grow. At that time, yeast was actually a bit of already fermented contaminated dough. 1.3. The leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees is what they teach v.12. Jesus warns his disciples, beware of the influence of these men. 1.4. The disciples did not understand that the multiplication of the loaves was a sign that God could provide or meet needs, even material ones, but especially spiritual ones. 1.5. Many people have a mind oriented only to material things. They worry when food, clothes, money are missing. But they do not worry when there is a lack of prayer, Bible reading, faith, hope, trust in God and certainty of God's provision and care. 1.6. Many take very good care of their body, balanced diet, fruits, fibers, vegetables, etc. But poison your soul by watching all kinds of poison on television, on the internet, etc. 1.7. We must cast our anxieties on God. 1 Pet. 5.7 and trust in the Lord to meet our day-to-day needs. Mountain 6.25-33. 2. We must be careful with the ideas that influence us. 477. 2.1. Despite seeing Jesus' miracles, the Pharisees continued to ask for more signs, showing their disbelief. They transmitted disbelief and hypocrisy. Appearance different from the interior, LK 12.1. 2.2. Clearly, Jesus was warning his followers against the insidious infection of unbelief. Like leaven in a dough, a lack of faith can permeate life until it appears unexpectedly in open rebellion against God. 23.